Welcome back to Furniture Industry News. Today is Wednesday, September 10th, 2025, and we're here to walk through some of the latest developments that matter for anyone working in the furniture business. Let's dive into the headlines shaping retail, manufacturing, and consumer behavior right now. We'll start with imports. After a big surge in container shipments this summer, we're now seeing a noticeable slowdown in U.S. imports heading into the fall. That surge earlier in the year gave some hope that consumer demand might stay strong, but the current data suggests the rest of the year may not be so optimistic. Retailers are becoming more cautious with orders, keeping inventories tight and avoiding overcommitting to stock they might not sell. For the furniture industry, this means the pressure is still on to move product efficiently and make careful bets on what customers will buy during the holidays. Speaking of foot traffic, let's shift to malls. According to the latest data from Placer.ai, mall visits in August were basically flat compared to the same time last year. This is interesting because it shows stability, but not growth. On one hand, stability is good news after years of declines, but on the other, it highlights just how much malls are struggling to win back consistent traffic. For furniture retailers with a mall presence, or those competing for the same consumer spending, it's a reminder that the days of relying on mall footfall to drive sales are mostly gone. The battle is shifting toward how well retailers create reasons for customers to come directly into their showrooms or engage online. Now let's talk pricing, specifically case goods. Manufacturers are facing real pressure right now. Rising costs combined with softer demand are making it harder to maintain margins. But instead of competing on price alone, many companies are turning to product differentiation as their strategy. In other words, instead of being the cheapest, they're aiming to stand out by design, finish, or functionality. This is especially true in categories like bedroom and dining room furniture, where a distinctive look or feature can justify a higher ticket price. It's a good reminder that in today's environment, price is important, but it's not the only thing customers are weighing. If the product feels unique or special, many shoppers are still willing to pay for it. Over in the legal arena, there's some news between two well-known players, Our House and RH. Our House has dropped its complaints against RH, which had been part of a larger intellectual property battle. The case against another company, CHI, is still active. While the details may seem like inside baseball, these kinds of disputes highlight just how competitive the high-end furniture segment has become. Protecting design, branding, and differentiation is serious business, especially as companies try to capture consumers who are increasingly selective with where they spend. Shifting gears, let's take a look at Bed Bath & Beyond. Yes, the brand that's been through quite a roller coaster. The company is now refocusing with a new growth strategy under its latest ownership. The plan centers around leaning into home categories that are still strong, improving its assortment, and trying to rebuild trust with shoppers who may have written them off. For furniture folks, it's worth paying attention to whether this brand manages to make a comeback. If they can reconnect with loyal customers, they could once again become a meaningful competitor in home goods and furniture. Let's pause on consumer behavior for a moment, because there's some new survey data about return policies that's worth paying attention to. Nearly two-thirds of consumers say strict return policies discourage them from making a purchase in the first place. That's a big deal. Furniture is already a considered purchase, and if a customer feels like returning it will be a nightmare, they may never buy it at all. Retailers who strike the right balance, protecting themselves from abuse while still making customers feel comfortable, are more likely to win the sale. In today's world, transparency and trust go a long way. Finally, let's touch on technology and efficiency. A new report highlights how many brands are doubling down on using tech to increase efficiency and improve customer retention. This isn't just about flashy apps, it's about leveraging data, streamlining operations, and making sure that customers who buy keep coming back. For furniture retailers, this could mean anything from smarter inventory systems to personalized digital marketing. The goal is to reduce friction and increase loyalty. Two things that have always been important but are now essential as competition gets tougher. So, when we step back and look at the big picture, a few themes come through. The trade environment remains uncertain, so careful planning around imports and inventory is critical. Mall traffic may not be dropping further, but it's not really growing either, which means retailers need to find other ways to generate demand. Manufacturers are leaning into differentiation instead of just price competition. Legal battles continue to show just how valuable branding and design protection are. Meanwhile, old names like Bed Bath & Beyond are trying to reinvent themselves, even as customers make decisions based on return policies that can make or break a sale. And across it all, technology and efficiency are becoming the lifelines for keeping customers engaged and loyal. That's the latest roundup for today. Thanks for tuning in to Furniture Industry News. If you found this update helpful, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode.